All right, here's a look at our flash drive, and we begin by first pointing out that it's important to understand Git in order to use it. And so we're going to open up the documentation that comes on your flash drive referring to that. So let's open that up. And the thing to look at is this item right here. It's the Pro Git documentation source. So let's open that one up. And what we want to do is go directly to Chapter 2. So here's Chapter 2, and it talks about what it is you're going to do. For the most part, all of the things you do in Git and being able to make it do stuff, it takes an input from a command line, the old DOS Windows sort of thing. And so that's what we're going to learn to do first. What I want you to do is spend some time and read Chapter 2 on how you go in there and give commands. But right now I'm going to demonstrate that. But the source of what you're learning comes from Chapter 2 and then later Chapter 3 over here, branching in the Git manual. So let's stop this right now and go back to RStudio and create a project under Git control. So let's go back. Okay, here we are in R, and what I'm going to do is give a command to start a new project. So new project. I'm going to start in a brand new directory, empty project, and I'm going to call this Demo 1. And I'm going to tell it to create a project under Git control. Alright, so here we go. Create the project. It's starting off, coming into a new project. And here we are in the project name, right up here. It's called Demo 1. And it starts with virtually nothing in it. Well, since I want to demonstrate in this whole thing how we're going to go about writing reports, I'm going to put within here a piece of data that we have external. So let's see, I'm going to just go out to find that piece. And it's on my flash drive. And it's here in the project folders under the work directory, and it's this standard template. So I'm going to copy that, and then I'm going to go back to where we're putting this stuff, which is on this drive right now. And it's in the project folders, and it's Demo 1. And so I'm going to paste that in there. And there we are. So now let me just close this screen. And we'll see that I've just put it in here, called standard template. A long-winded name. Anyway, it's a markdown file. And what I want to do is now, since we initialized the project under Git, I'm going to open this thing up, and it'll open up a markdown file over here, and it's simply a template. So let's just see what we got. So there's this markdown template, and what I want to do is modify it a little bit and put some stuff in here, and we'll do that as I go along. So let's at this point put this standard template under Git control. So if I go to Git, Git stages a bunch of stuff up here. And this is the one part of using Git that's within, I should say, within RStudio, that allows me to do things without going to the command line. But a lot of the other things will force that, and I'll show you that in just a minute. So I'm going to highlight this. And that's telling me this is basically staged to get under Git control. In other words, this thing over here will then be placed under configuration control, even though now what it is an empty template, something that we usually start our projects in. So now I want to tell it to put it under configuration control, and so I'm going to tell it to commit this thing. And it may well be that we get some errors from Git, and I'll show you how to handle those if that's what happens. So I'm telling it to commit this change. So far so good. It says here's what it's going to put under configuration control, and I'm going to have to put a message in here that says first commit. Put that in there and tell it to go ahead and commit it. So it knows who I am, and these are things that you may want to change. We'll learn how to change these in the role they play later when we start working in teams, but for now it keeps track of who is actually doing the changes. So I'll close this, and then I will go out of here, and we'll see that now that no longer appears up here, and it's under what we can call configuration control. And right now in Git we have one branch called master, and that's it. If I go to the history here, it'll tell me one commit, so we can just see that. There's the history, and there is the first commit and all the stuff that's in it. Okay, so that's how we start off putting something under configuration control within Git, and that now we have, if you read chapter 2, one branch of this stuff going on. So now we've done a little work, and we have actually gone out and been given a research question that we want to modify our file with here. So I'm going to insert in here the new code and that we want to put in there. And so now this particular file has changed. We got too many introductions here, so let me delete that. All right. We have a research question. We have the method to get the code. So we have the whole introductory section of this built. And now it's time to update what we were doing, but we can't update anything as far as Git is concerned unless the file has changed. So to do that, even though we type stuff, in my case, paste it in here, I need to go and save this file, so in this part of the section, the part under Git control, it becomes apparent that the file is changed. So let's do that by File, Save. And now you see, up here, Git recognizes that that file, which happens to be this standard template, has its body has changed somehow. And now it's stageable to commit it. So at this point, I'm going to tell Git to save that, then we'll have two commits. So we highlight this with a click mark, and I go to commit. The commit message now will be updated intro. And now I'm going to commit that. Commit. So it says OK. You've made your change, and we're tracking that now, so I can close this. Close this part of RStudio talking to Git. And here we are back. Now, if I come, and we're still in the master branch, in that branch, and look at a history of, let's see, if I click on here, should be able to get the history. Where is that? Oh, it's this. History. Come on. And we see that we have the first commit, and then the part down here that's part of this second commit, which tracks the change. Let me scoot this around and make this a seeable size, if you will, if it's in the recording window. All right, here we go. So this is telling me I deleted that part out of the old stuff and put all of this stuff in. So that's the history of our commit. So we'll get back out of here and now recognize that we have two commits. Okay. Okay, now we're back. And we decide we're going to follow a given path to analyze this right now. So we're going to paste in our newly decided methods right here. And here's a summary of what we think we're going to do in the methods section. And but we're contemplating perhaps changing the whole methodology. So at this point, we want to chart a path which will be a new course here, in essence, a new branch. So we need to save this first before this file comes over here. So instead of doing that right now, I'm going to create a new branch. So this is the way you do that. You have to issue a command at the command line. So I go to Tools, Shell. A shell pops up, and at this point I have to issue the get command that creates a new branch. So what is that command? Well, if I forgot, which I did, I have to go out and look it up in the book. So while I do that, let me pause this video. Okay, so here we are getting ready to create a new branch, and the branch command is fairly simple. It is get branch. And give the branch a name. In this place I'll just say the left branch. And I hit return. And now I can close this window. Now if I go back over here, and wait a minute anyway, it should tell me that there is a new branch. And there it is, and I'm telling it to shift to the left branch, that branch that I just created. All right, now we're on the left branch. And now what I want to do is save the changed template file. So I'm going to go File, Save, and there it is. I'm on the left branch, and I want to commit that change to the left branch. And I put methods for left branch. And commit it. Close that. Go back here. And now something quite interesting has happened. We're on the left branch. Let me look at the history of the stuff in the left branch. Notice that we had the first commit where it was the empty statement, our empty RMD file. The second commit in which we put in all the informational section. And on this third commit where we updated what would be our methods section. Okay. Let's go back to the master branch and see what we have there. here we are back at the master branch. And I want you to notice that in the methods section, it's as it was before we changed it. So if we change it here and save it in this branch, it'll be different, if you will, than what's in the left branch. Again, if I go back to the left branch, check the, oops, oh, it does this sometimes. When it does that, what I do is wait a little while and try to go back again. Yep, and it worked that time. So now we're back on the left branch. And when I look at what's in this thing in the methods section, it has what I pasted in there when we were on that branch. Well, this is a technique so that you can put under configuration control, and you don't have to have just 2 branches. You can have all kinds of different branches, and later we'll show you how to actually put them back together, which is called merging the branches, probably in another session. But the point is, you can try many things and go down different branches within R using the Git for configuration control. All right.